What up, Space Fam? Goes in here from Anime Uproar, and I'm back at it again to discuss the latest and craziest developments in the One Piece story. And wow, what an amazing chapter we got here. We got Kaido being shocked at Luffy's evolved Devil Fruit, what looks like the end of the Luffy versus Kaido battle after so many chapters, and much more, so make sure to stay tuned for this one. If you do enjoy these One Piece reviews and want to keep them coming, you know what to do. Channel Pirate King within and smash that like button with no mercy. Always remember, smashing is Pirate King energy and passing is Scared Orochi energy, so choose wisely. If you haven't, make this the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications or you will miss future One Piece videos and updates. And while you wait for the next chapter to drop, feel free to check out my huge and growing One Piece playlist that includes videos on all the Yonko, Admirals, Supernova, and much more. Link to that is in the description. And now, without further ado, let's jump into it, spoilers and all. This chapter is called Winners Shouldn't Need Rationalizations, which implies this is already going to be a pretty hyped chapter, and we'll get more into its significance when we get to that part of the chapter. We start off strong with Drake actually managing to sneak up on the CP0 agent. The chapter starts with him already having stabbed him. Oda toys with us a bit, suggesting that this might be it for the agent. He asks Drake why, as people tend to do when it's over for them. Drake says he is enacting his own justice, and he deserves respect for that. My favorite characters have their own sense of justice, like Luffy, and don't blindly follow orders from the world government. The agent says, and I quote, "I envy you," to Drake. And I personally feel like this will be relevant as we learn more about this dude. He wants to be able to follow his own justice, or to just have his own justice in the first place, like Drake, but clearly something is preventing him, which will no doubt be revealed as we gather more info about him and his backstory. Either way, we have a turning of the table situation. Being stabbed with a sword doesn't slow our CP0 agent down in the least, and he not only escapes in a flash, he delivers another blow to Drake, which seems to be the finishing one. Drake probably won't get up again during this war, but it was necessary for him to do something here. Drake going down without doing at least this much would have been kind of sad. However, how much this attack actually slows down the CP0 agent remains to be seen. Clearly, for the time being, he's still fast and deadly. After this, we got the stark contrast of the battlefield being juxtaposed to the celebration below. People are in a good mood and making wishes using sky lanterns, including Toko. We know our guys are fighting for all these people, so once more it shows us what's on the line. We then jump to the main event, the fight against Luffy and Kaido, and wow, Kaido can definitely take a punch, or should I say a million punches. He just keeps getting punched from all directions. It's hard to predict with Luffy's countless Hydra punches where the next fist will strike, and even while Kaido blocks one, he gets hit by another. Although Luffy is out of breath, Kaido does say the punches hurt with an exclamation mark, which is always high praise coming from a Yonko and the strongest creature. He also says something huge, which has been touched upon throughout the arc. He says rubber shouldn't be able to do this. If this was a one-time thing, we could say Oda was making fun of himself a bit for how much creative license he's taken with the rubber fruit. But when we think about everything else we learned throughout the arc, like about Joy Boy and the importance of Luffy's fruit, it seems clear this is yet another hype statement telling us that Luffy's fruit is special. Not to mention Luffy was special enough to evolve or awaken it to this point, and such a statement also prepares us for future power-ups which, as Kaido says, may move more and more beyond what rubber should be able to do. Such comments invite us to think of the legendary fruit that hasn't awakened for centuries that the five elders were discussing. The only one that was special enough for the government to give it a unique name so that they could hide the fruit's true name from history. In its initial forms, it may look like rubber, but as it awakens, as mentioned, it's bound to look less and less like it. After all these clues, I would be very surprised at this point if this fruit in question didn't turn out to be Luffy's own. So back to the fight and Luffy's more and more awakening powers that even make a Yonko question them. As if to quickly move on from the huge statement, Kaido enters his flirty drunk phase and tells Luffy to "stop it, you," with a heart. You know you're a boss when you can be flirty against an opponent who is trying their hardest to finish you off. Again, whatever happens, they made Kaido very impressive during this fight. Yeah, Luffy is getting stronger and stronger and landing a countless number of attacks, but Kaido is fine and doing well drunk. Kaido talks about how Luffy is not the only one that can see the future, and then says he'll take a page from Luffy's book. He starts moving his body like Luffy's punches. The dude is really showing off, and again doesn't seem fazed by the onslaught of attacks Luffy launched. Kaido in dragon form even bites and then quote-unquote eats Luffy before spitting him out and immediately launching a point-blank blast breath. Luffy enters Bound Man to deal with the attack and bounce back to the fighting field. Once more, Luffy emphasizes that his time is running out. He doesn't even know how many minutes left he's got and says he doesn't have time to waste. Kaido pours salt on the wound, saying Luffy is in worse shape than Kaido even thought. It is already not looking well. Luffy says he can't lose here. Everyone in Wano will continue to starve and go thirsty if Kaido sticks around. Kaido laughs at Luffy for joining forces with the people of Wano, who are used to defeat. He says they are either weak pacifists or content to die for the sake of honor. Another reference to the samurai being too ready to die instead of finding a way to keep living and keep fighting. Luffy says shut up, getting pretty defensive, and says the samurai are strong, and of course, it depends on your definition of strength. For Kaido, a brave face, aka being stoic in the face of adversity, doesn't make people strong. He says winners shouldn't need rationalizations. Which are you, a winner or a loser? And that actually reminds me of a Haikyuu episode I watched yesterday where a player was trying to find a reason to get excited about the idea of winning in volleyball, and another character said, who needs a reason to want to win or to not want to lose? For Kaido, Luffy's statement of he can't lose for the sake of the people of Wano is unnecessary. For Kaido, he just wants to win. And you can talk all about honor, he says, and rationalize why the samurai is supposedly strong, but if they can't win the fight, then they're still losers in his eyes. Although how much he truly believes in this cut and dry philosophy will soon be questioned. For now, Luffy launches Supreme Kong Gun, and it's another satisfying panel showing what looks like Kaido taking a lot of damage. Luffy goes in to attack again, but is surprised to see Kaido has recovered quickly and launches an attack of his own, sending Luffy to the ground, whited out eyes and everything. He starts the exhaling process, but then covers his mouth thinking he can't let any escape or he'll lose power. So Luffy is at the edge, barely still going, and Kaido is fine and smiling as he enters his homicidal drunk phase. For this reason, it seems like Luffy needs another gear or form. He needs to get the awakening that was hinted at last chapter with that crazy cool silhouette. The hope is when he expends all he's got, he'll be able to tap into something deeper and bounce back again. But we'll see. One thing's clear, even if he keeps going like this, which it doesn't even appear like he can, it still hasn't been enough to slow Kaido down or to even wipe the smile from his face. And so I can't see this version of Luffy finishing things off. For now, Luffy says one more shot, if this isn't enough, I'll lose. Again reiterating how bad Luffy's situation appears. But it's hype too because it seems like it'll end with both fighters using as much energy and power they can muster in one hit, but then just as we're expecting that insane epic clash, the CP0 agent interrupts Luffy's attack, meaning that Kaido just went full out on a helpless Luffy and it was point blank range. Even though Kaido was saying it's all about winners and losers before, it's clear that he's upset CP0 interfered. He recalls when Oden was tricked by the old lady who transformed into Momo and how Kaido won because of that unfair advantage. He had the lady killed, that's how upset he was, and it probably even contributed to his drinking more. I'd say his lack of honor in that situation really haunted him, because he went on to execute Oden instead of giving him another shot. And now, with all the emotionally amplified effects of alcohol, it looks like it just happened all over again. Will he try to right his wrongs from the past here? Will he go after the CP0 agent, which seems like the obvious move after he went after the lady last time? Will he let Luffy go because of the interference in direct contrast to how he executed Oden? Or, and this is my hope, will Luffy bounce back stronger than ever with a new gear or awakened form? Although I hope it's not the case, this fight could potentially be over here, since Luffy said he was at his limit and he just got hit point blank by Kaido's attack. If it is over, I don't think Kaido would finish him off, since he'd definitely feel bad for the interference. This whole arc has been preparing us for this moment, but at the same time, I feel like this has to be settled here, since we can't have Luffy face Kaido again sometime down the line after all this buildup and after all of these chapters. Let me know your thoughts here. All I know is that I'm very excited for the next chapter. In fact, I can't remember the last time I was more excited than this for the next chapter. That is it for this one. Obviously, MVP goes to Luffy for me, but if Kaido beats the CP0 agent next chapter and lets Luffy recover, then next chapter MVP is going to Kaido, since that will show a lot of growth in the dude's character after all that time spent denying honor. If you did enjoy this review and want to keep them coming, you know what to do. Channel Pirate King within and smash that like button with no mercy. Always remember, smashing is Pirate King energy and passing is Scared Orochi energy, so choose wisely. If you haven't, make this the video, subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications, or you will miss future One Piece videos and updates. And while you wait for the next chapter to drop, feel free to check out my huge and growing One Piece playlist that includes videos on all the Yonko, Admirals, Supernova, and much more. Link to that is in the description. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.